Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming again. George has a beautiful meditation set up for us today. It's going to be a healing meditation. And if you want to see any of George's other meditations, you go to Wendy's YouTube and it'll show up there, and you can listen to 4, 5, or 6 that we've done. And George, I hand it over to you now.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that introduction, David. The meditation today is going to be mainly based on healing, which is really just aligning one's body with the energies of Gaia and aligning our awareness with the whole universe, basically. Because when we're in tune with the universe supports our every thought, word, and action, and there's no strain there. It's only if we get involved in things happening in the world, as it were, and we lose that insight, that inner guidance that we have, life can start getting complicated, and our body can start getting distortions in it, as it were. So anyway, the meditation will take us down, and we'll do our grounding first and open the chakras, I think, and then, as I say, connect with the earth energy and the universe, and then we'll focus a little on 2 or 3 healing subjects as well, to work on, and see how it all works out for everyone. Anyway, there'll be a Q&A section at the end, so please, if I think, write down your questions and ask them at the end of the presentation. So if we all gently close our eyes then and take the awareness within, and just relax in your chair and allow the chair to fully support your weight, basically, and just allow yourself to go down into the silence. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths and use the breath as a way of going down into the silence. And then we'll start off by, if you like, start in the center of the body and imagine that you've got an energy roots growing out of the heart down through your spine, down through your legs, down through your feet, down into the earth, and just allow these roots to go down, deep down into the earth, spiraling down, and just connect your physical energy body, as it were, with that of the planet we live on. So, as I say, as we make this connection, we can choose to imagine that any stale negative energy that we've been carrying around, that we no longer need and is no longer serving us. Just imagine that energy going down these roots into the earth. This energy could be in many forms. It could be emotional energy that's no longer serving us. It could be personal relationships that we may still think about, but we never see the person anymore. And to just allow that to go down these roots into the earth, and just imagine yourself just breaking that silver cord that connects you to that person, so that your consciousness is fully in the present moment, and just allow any stale feelings, any stale emotions, any other thing that may be affecting you, just to go down these roots into the earth, and then draw up from the earth positive energy that counteracts these negative influences. We draw up healing energy from the earth, if we draw up positive revitalizing energy, just draw it up into your body. Feel it coming up your feet, up your leg, up your spine, and as it reaches the base of the spine, we'll just slowly start to open the chakras of the body. So at the base of the spine, you've got the base chakra. Just see the four petals of the base chakra opening up and a beautiful red light radiating out all around you. And then take the awareness up to the sacred chakra about 2 inches below the navel. And again, just visualize the six petals of the sacred chakra opening up and a beautiful orange light radiating outward. And then taking the awareness to the solar plexus area. See the 10 petals of the solar plexus chakra opening up in a beautiful yellow light radiating out both in front and behind you. And then taking the awareness up to your heart center. Just see the 12 petals of the heart chakra opening up their petals in a beautiful green light radiating out again in front and behind us. Just visualize all these lower chakra colors all blending together, all filling up our auric space with different shades of light. And then we'll start moving up to the upper chakras. Just visualize the 12 petals at the throat chakra opening up their petals, radiating out a beautiful blue light. And then taking the awareness up to the brow chakra. And again, see the brow chakra radiating out a beautiful purple light through its 96 petals. And then finally take the awareness up to the crown chakra, seeing the 1,000-petal lotus at the crown of our head, opening up its petals and connecting us to the whole universe. Just see a column of light coming into your crown chakra from the whole universe, from the central sun and from our own solar system, the moon, the sun, and all the planets of our solar system. Just feel the influence coming in to us from these cosmic bodies. And then just relax into the silence. Just take a few more deep breaths and then we'll start looking within the body at the different organs of the body, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, all the other major organs of the body, even the skin itself, and the bones and the muscle area. And just know that these different components of our body are held in place by the energy field that surrounds our body. You know, if you can imagine that your soul is like a hologram of light, and the light comes out of the void at your finest state of existence, and that light radiates out through the soul and creates a three-dimensional image of your physical body. Just imagine all the components of the body being held in position by this aura energy that's created by your soul. And just know that as long as you're in tune with this source of energy within, then we'll stay healthy and happy. I mean, some people call this source of energy within the eternal fountain of youth, as the light energy comes out of the void. It's like a fountain of light coming out, and as it passes through the soul, it creates this energy blueprint for our body, which every cell in our body, the DNA reads and knows exactly what it should be doing in what position of the body it finds itself in. And then just know there's a slight difference between your physical structure and your emotions. You know, your physical structure is made of the finer particles, the the sorry, the DNA of the body and the atoms of the body, they form the finer states of your existence, and they cluster together to form the molecules that cluster together to form the cell that cluster together to form the organs of your body. So that there's different layers of energy as well, but they're all coordinated through your soul energy and this connection that we're making to the soul. And then there's a slightly different um, level of energy within the body. That's the fluids in the body. Your emotions, I feel, pass through the liquids in the body. So your feelings pass through the physical structure of your body, but your emotions are passing through the liquid within your body. So just be aware of that slight and subtle difference. And again, we'll just ask that any stale negative energy on any level of our body is no longer required. Ask it to go down the roots into the earth. And again, we can just experience the healing of just being who we are. We're not focusing on any external influences at all. It's all being created from that fountain of eternal youth, if you like, within us, that creates that energy field that holds, that the DNA reads and holds us in that perfect health and perfect harmony. We'll just take a few seconds to think of the different dimensions in the energies as well. For years we've lived in a 3D world, but as our consciousness becomes more and more enlightened, we're becoming very much aware of finer states of existence, as it were, finer states of energy. So just invite in the four-dimensional energy and the fifth-dimensional energy and the sixth-dimensional energy and even the seventh-dimensional energy. Just invite these layers of energy to come in and just feel the effect it has on the silence within as we feel this energy coming into our awareness. Some people say that our DNA is being upgraded from a two-strand system, that already the etheric strands of all these different layers of energy are appearing in our DNA, and that eventually they'll expand out to 12 levels of strands of DNA and 12 levels of energy or dimensions that we're experiencing in our consciousness. Just take a few deep breaths and just, if you like, digest that idea. If you like, we could imagine that we're opening up the eighth and the ninth and the 10th and the 11th and the 12th dimension of the energy fields as well. And again, just feel the effect that's having on the silence that we're experiencing within our body. As we feel the hum of the universe within us, then we'll just start to think of a few of the subjects that people requested we consider while we're in this meditative state. The subject of grief did come up, and as I pointed out, that life is eternal. We're all made of energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's eternal by nature. And, from our experiences at spiritualist churches and even just our own telepathy, if you like, and intuition. I think most of us have had contact from our loved ones that are in spirit. So we know that there is no death, as it were. So the grieving itself is something that we can choose to transmute, if it were, to. There's a lot to be said for positive thinking and the need to, you can think any thought at any moment. So why not choose to think life-supporting thoughts and, think of your loved ones in spirit and the fact that they're actually probably sending you positive energy and new ideas and things to follow. And, we just allow ourselves to be receptive to that incoming information. Then, what we would normally call grieving, we find is very inspirational, that we know that our loved ones are still there and are happy to help us, as it were. And then again, looking at sleep as well, I mean, most of my life I've always witnessed my sleep, so I've always been asleep while I've always been awake while I'm sleeping, and therefore, people that wake up in the night, it may just be their consciousness is evolving, and they're finding that they're becoming, as we evolve, our solid physical body is being upgraded from a solid morph. Some people say we're being upgraded from a carbon-based body to a crystalline-based body, but other people are saying the body is getting refined so that we're becoming more etheric in our nature. We're becoming more like angels, as it were, and we could invite in the community of angels to come and join us in this guided meditation. And just, as we're doing this meditation, I think we're all feeling a little more etheric than we are before we started. So just, we've raised our vibration up to the angelic kingdom and up to the level of our loved ones in spirit as well. So just reach out to them and just, I'll stay quiet for a minute or two, and perhaps you could have conversations with your family and friends that have passed over. And we discussed before the meditation started. One of our colleagues in the global gathering and things that has recently passed. Perhaps individually we could send our thoughts out to them and ask how they're getting on and see if they've got any messages they wish to transfer back to them. I'll stay quiet for 3 or 4 minutes. I think most of us can feel the liveliness in the silence as we are doing this meditation, that the if you like, the source energy has come into uh, our auras, as it were, and has healed any tears or glitches in the aura, and the aura is very strong now. So the information coming from that energy field that's chatting to each DNA cell in our cells is ensuring that each cell is in the right position, doing the right job at the right time, and that our bodies will be fully healthy and fully vibrant when we finish the meditation this evening. As we start to think about coming back into our physical bodies again and leaving behind the etheric realms and connecting, starting on the most subtle level of your soul and just thanking source energy for that, if you like, eternal fountain of youth that it feeds us with light on a continuous basis, and know that as two particles of light hit each other, they change from a wave to a particle. And so our physical bodies are also made of light. And those small particles cluster together to form the atoms of our body, which cluster together to form the molecules, that cluster together to form the cell, that cluster together to form the organs and the muscles and the bone. And then the whole of it is coordinated through our consciousness and through the universal consciousness. Another thing that is happening at the moment that people may or may not be aware of is that a lot of planets over the next 3 to 6 months have moved from one house to another, and a lot of them have moved out of earth signs into air and fire signs. So this has had the effect of speeding up time so that, over the next 6 to 9 months, the speed of life will increase and also again become more etheric. There's a lot of talk about flying cars and even people levitating and things like that as these air and fire elements become more prevalent in our consciousness. So again, just bear that in mind and just be aware that this will have an influence going forward. Anyway, we'll come back to our physical body now, and we'll take our awareness up to the crown chakra that's been connecting us to the whole universe. And know by being in tune with the whole universe, every thought, word, and action that we have is, if you like, in tune with the whole universe, and therefore you get a lot of synchronicities happening, a lot of miracles, a lot of magic as life moves on, as it were. So just be aware of those qualities as well as we move forward over the next few months. Anyway, we'll draw in the petals of the crown chakra that's been connecting us to the whole universe. And then taking our awareness to the brow chakra, that is our region for clairvoyance, the third eye, as it were. And know that any spiritual messages we get, any clairvoyance or clairaudience or clairsentience, will come through this sort of region of our body. And we'll just draw in the petals of our third eye chakra. And taking the awareness down to our throat chakra. Just be aware of our throat chakra and the 16 petals of the throat chakra. Just draw in the petals now and allow that energy to come back to its normal, natural, everyday balanced state. And then coming down to our heart chakra, we can probably feel the love pouring out of our heart area. It's been there like a pinkish golden glow, if you like, coming in our heart. Just know that this connection that we made to the universe and to the planet Earth has been filling our whole auric space with the love from our own heart, as it were. And then we'll draw in the petals of the heart chakra. And then taking the awareness down to the solar plexus region. Just see the 12 petals of the solar plexus chakra drawing in their petal. And again, the whole emotional body, as it were, going back to its normal everyday state. And then taking the awareness down again to our sacred chakra. The sacred chakra connects us to our loved ones, that those people we've had relationships with, those people that are family and friends. And again, we've severed any ties with people that are no longer in tune with our current energy field. So we'll just keep those that are close to us, those loved ones, as it were, and those that have got positive life supporting thoughts that we can work with moving forward. And then we'll close the petals of the sacred chakra. And then taking the awareness down to the base chakra. And just see the red energy of the base chakra becoming softer and fainter as we draw in the petal at the base chakra. And then finally taking the awareness down to the roots we put into the air. And just see these energy roots, just that they've been linking us to the, if you like, the crystalline center of the planet Earth and all the nature spirits and all the um, different qualities of the Earth energy. Just see it all in perfect balance as we draw up these roots and just seal them off at the base of our feet. And then coming back into our physical body fully, as it were, just feel the aura becoming a little bit tighter around our body. Just know that it's now fully vibrant with divine energy and lots of healing energy as well, as we reconnect with the five senses of taste, touch, smell, and feeling and eyesight. Just connect with all your senses and then just reconnect your senses with the room around you. And when you're ready and centered within yourself, then just gently start to open your eyes and come back to the here and now. And if you've got any questions about the meditation, I'll be very happy to answer them. Just raise your hand if you have any questions. Hmm. I think you're muted, David. Julia, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Yes, thank you, George. That was needless to say, that was beautiful as always. As a skilled meditator, do you have prolonged glimpses into these higher dimensions? You mentioned the 12th dimension. Do we have any concept of how many dimensions they are back to the source of all things, or are there an infinite number of dimensions as far as we know?
Um, well, as I say, I think consciousness is just focusing on. My understanding is that the first three dimensions are the the here, there, and well, basically the 3D reality we live in. Then the fourth dimension is time, and then the fifth dimension is when your consciousness becomes aware of the spiritual nature of life. Um, I mean, there's a group that goes into the 12 dimensions quite a lot. I can post the link for you if you like on in the chat. I'll just see if I can find it. And they work a lot with the 12 dimensional energy. So I'll just go and find that now. It's it's oh yes, okay. It's called the Stargate Experience, and they very much work. I'll post the link to the YouTube videos from them in the chat for you.
Well, thank you. Are there actually supposed to be 12 dimensions then? Is the final 12th dimension what we would term as God, or?
Sorry, I'm just posting the link at the moment. Hopefully, yeah, I've put the link now in the chat for you. Well, what I suggest you do, I mean, they explain it extremely well, the different dimensions and what they all do. So I suggest you watch a few of their YouTube videos. I'm not that knowledgeable about the anything above the fifth dimension myself. I've not researched a lot into the dimensions above the fifth dimension, so they would be able to explain it better than I can. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you. I'm sure you're more knowledgeable than most, though, but thank you very much.
Right. Any other question? Yes, Priscilla.
Yeah, I have a question, and this is this is just something that came to me yesterday when I was doing a meditation. I have a wonderful large crystal.
It's lovely.
Isn't that nice?
Mm.
And I was wondering, so last night when I was doing a meditation, actually I was doing a telepathy experiment with a friend. It's a 4-night telepathy experiment. Anyway, so last night I pulled out my crystal and I held it. And at one point I held it close to my heart. I held it up around my chest. And I'm just wondering, am I dreaming? Could this have any effect? What do you know about crystals?
Well, I've worked quite a lot with them. I did go on a course once where they did the full chakra system, where we chanted the tone of each chakra point's got its own tone, as it were, and we had the crystals of that particular chakra. So, we can imagine the color of the crystal changing. So say a red one for the base chakra, and then they were using the gels you put over stage camera, stage lights to radiate different. They filled the room with the color of each crystal, and we focus on one of the chakra points in each session for 7 weeks. And as I say, it's amazing how the energies change. As you work with each color of each chakra, over a 7 week period, you could feel the different qualities of each chakra. So, and I say, and that was coming through the crystals as well. I mean, I did work once with someone who was on RadioOutThere.com, which is mentioned sometimes within the Afterlife group, and there's a gentleman that came from the UK, not far from where I live, who developed a special type of photography where he could photograph crystals. And on one occasion, when he was working with Barry Eaton, he was, doing a video of this particular crystal, and you could see like a spirit entity coming out of the crystal, and wandering nearby, and then went back into it again. So again, I felt that was a magical moment where you could see the angel, if you like, that lives in the crystal. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
So, question number 2. So you're saying the crystal doesn't have to actually be a different color, but if you put a film over it of, say, a red clear wrapping paper and get the red light to come through, that's...
Well, as I say, we were using different crystals, like amethyst and things like that, which should be more a purple color. And as I say, green crystals and red crystals and things. In the workshop I was in, but the gels were purely to put that colored light into the room so you could experience that frequency of light while we were working with that color of crystal. Yeah.
So I should keep at it, and who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, indeed.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dave, should we hear your question?
Yeah, can you hear? Yes, I'm sorry, something happened before where I was muted, but anyways, before we started today, earlier we were talking about a member of the global gathering that passed away. His name's Richard Snyder, and a bunch of us knew him. So I was trying to, during the meditation, I was trying to contact him. I have been for the last couple of days, but I did not get in touch with him. I became his Facebook friend about a month ago after he disappeared because he was involved with the group, but then he went away for a while. So I'm not giving up. I'm still going to keep trying to talk to him. But also during the meditation, one of the things that I saw that I haven't seen before was just a huge amount of colors as you went through the chakras. And you said that they're going to blend together. So I blended them all together in my head, just like you would with a painting. I just thought that was cool, and I thought I'd let the people know about that. Has anybody had their own experience during the meditation that George just gave and want to share it with us?
Well, could I just comment first?
Yeah.
There was one occasion when I did that blending of the colors in the aura, and if you can imagine different shades of the blending of different colors, each, if you like, station where the colors merged was like a different tuning fork or a different wavelength of energy, and if you can imagine your aura like a radio receiver, you were getting information coming in where these different colors blends were. So you could have 100 different channels working from the seven different colors, as it were. So I thought that was really good. I had a very clear experience of that happening in one of my meditations.
Yeah, that's interesting. Marge, go ahead and unmute.
Okay. Here, I'll take that thing down. George, thank you so much for that. That was really a very wonderful meditation. I just loved it. The when you started to talk about going into the higher dimensions, the 6, 7, 8, all the way through to the 12, I physically shook and got chills, and I get that whenever I have a confirmation. Which can be a little annoying, actually, but I prefer just the chills. But the shaking, I think, okay, stop already. But that to me was very significant. And also regarding colors, I got purple and gold this time in my visions, and I had the vision, of course, of a huge dragon's eye, and it was lined in gold, and the background was purple, and it was actually pulling the energy out of me into its eye. So you could see it imploding into the eye, and that to me was pretty significant. There was also a purple orb that came from the bottom of my vision and started to move up towards the top of the vision. So that was pretty powerful. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I've had something similar happen at different healing circles that I've worked in, where we train the healers, and say you'd have 10 healers working on one person, and quite often you can have some sort of spirit entity coming out of the person.
Oh.
And leaving their body, as it were.
Oh, good.
I noticed it once on one occasion where I was working at Mind Body Spirit Fairs, and there was a lady there that had very bad arthritis in the hands and things, and we invited her back to the healing circle that we were doing, and as I say, an entity came out of her body. I think what had happened was she'd been going to a lot of UFO type conferences, as it were, and I think some alien energy field took over her body, but because the body just grows into the energy field that it's got, her fingers were actually growing a different shape and things because of the alternative energy field that was in her body. So it was after the entity left her body, she started to go back to normal again.
Oh.
So that was something quite significant, that I didn't know was even possible, but it did seem to be possible.
That's good. That's good. Well, I also would reckon it to a release. So I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem.
Does anybody else have any other comments that they want to make today? Priscilla?
Well, the color that I saw eventually that came into my mind was a fabulous, beautiful blue, dark, beautiful blue, much like Marge's color blue that she has on. And it was beautiful, and it was persistent. And it was also the color that I had in a dream some nights ago, where I felt like I was out of body. I felt like I was in outer space, except it was blue. It was a blue space. And anyway, it was nice, very nice. Thank you, George.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, Julia, go ahead and unmute, please.
Sorry, I have a second question if no one else has got a first question. Yeah, it's fascinating what you say, George, about time speeding up in the next 6 to 9 months. I think you explained because there's a planetary movement into the air and fire signs. And I know a lot of people, and I'm trying to learn about this at the moment, think that the Earth or Gaia is a spirit herself, a living organism. Does that imply that the Earth herself is raising her vibration and speeding up? And that's why time is speeding up more for us in our daily lives. In fact, my husband was saying only yesterday, I think time is speeding up, and apparently he wasn't just imagining it, if that's what you say.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Pam Gregory, I don't know if you know her at all. You know, she's an astrologer, as it were, and she did a nice YouTube video with the group I mentioned earlier. I'll just look up that name again, just to be sure I say the right thing. The Stargate experience, you know, she did a wonderful video with that group. It was, if you go on Pam Gregory's website or YouTube site and look up, she did a video from 2025 to 2027, the next 3 years, and she did it with these Stargate experience people, and you know, it was amazing. The planets move initially into their new houses, but then 3 of them go retrograde. I think it's Uranus, Saturn, and Pluto, I think it was, go retrograde for up until the beginning of next year, and then they start to go direct again. But then they're in these fire and air signs. So, you know, things could become very lively after the new year. Anyway. Do you want to stop recording, Dave?
Yeah.
I think we can carry on talking, but
Yeah, good idea.